Hello there, and welcome to Hammerman for today, January the 29th. We're almost a month into 2018, and I still feel a little hungover from New Year's. I don't know. The time flies, I guess, when you're having fun. So, let's have some fun. Stage 1, kind of straightforward. If you're really low level, you know, just stack your defenses over there on the right hand side and hope for the best. If you're not an incredibly low level, then you should have won that easily, and you know, don't worry about it. Moving on to stage 2. Again, if you're really low level, make sure to set up a whole bunch of mines right in that corridor. You could actually start stacking them up a little closer if your mines are lower level to take out the warriors before they make it into the really scary parts. And maybe stack the top end of your beach with a couple boom cannons if you got them, just to take down those tanks a little bit faster. And then down on the bottom side of the beach, do, you know, a layer of something, some kind of buildings in the way to stack everything up and buy your machine guns and flamethrowers and stuff as much time as possible to kill them before they get through and carry on. Moving to stage... Wow, it's a really slow victory. It's just like, maybe we're not gonna show the grade. Yeah, okay, we'll show the grade. Now, stage 3 is where things got serious. I was surprised, because I saw the layout coming and I was like, okay, there's gonna be Riflemen, there's gonna be heavies, there's gonna be Grens, and then there's gonna be full load of warriors, and I was like, that's actually really nasty, because if you layer up your single target high DPS stuff to take out the heavies, then you've got a wall of freaking rifles to get through. And then if you set up with like a bunch of, you know, flamethrowers, machine guns, they're gonna get eaten up before you get to the Riflemen, and like there's gonna be problems there. So like very tough if you're a lower level. What I can only suggest is try to set up your base so that you can lure some of the troops over to the right hand side, some to the left hand side, and kind of split them up, which I know sounds incredibly hard and weird, but it's actually doable if you do like a line of single buildings along the front. They're gonna die really quickly, and the troops are gonna kind of follow that snake of single troops, and you can suck them way over to the right, and then when the warriors land on the left hand side, because those are all gone, they'll just run up the left hand side. So on the left hand side, what you do is you put like your flamethrowers and your machine guns and stuff, because the warriors are going to run into those. If you can, intersperse them with the odd building here or there. That'll slow the warriors down, make the warriors kind of attack that while your machine guns and flamethrowers are labeling them. And then over on the right hand side, everything else, because that's where you're really going to have to do your work. Ultimately, if you kind of go all the way around your base to the back, back on the left-hand side, near the end, you probably want to have some sniper towers and stuff, just because they'll be able to damage those Grens, as well as like boom cannons, your long-range stuff. And I guess with your rocket launchers, I'd suggest rocket launchers, shock launchers, right in the middle, because that way, no matter which side is going around, it should have range to shoot out over to that side and do some damage to those troops as they wander around. Whew! There was a stage 4 in there, I swear, but like the stage 3 was really crazy. I felt for stage 3. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's been so long since I've been that low a level, I'm absolutely lost and I have no idea what the heck I'm talking about. Which, let's face it, is completely possible. Now with stage 5, pretty straightforward. You know, same deal. Spread your mines around, because they will get a workout. It's kind of nice because troops end up getting landed all the way across, so If you spread your mines out, you can kind of spread the damage around as much as possible. And then ultimately, near the end, things get kind of hairy because that Scorcher comes out. Now, if you're lucky, like I just was, when you blow up that Scorcher, you're going to take out a whole buttload of Riflemen with it. If you're not lucky, just cross your fingers and hope, you know. The good news is, because the Scorcher has a shorter range than the Rifleman, it'll eventually pull forward from it. So if you have like your cannons and boom cannons and stuff at the very back, it'll come up ahead of the Riflemen, and then you can, behind those, have your rocket launchers and whatnot, and hopefully your cannons and boom cannons can take out the Scorcher before the Riflemen really come into play. And then once that Scorcher's gone, those boom cannons are going to have like a bunch of hit points, hopefully, depending obviously on level, and so the Riflemen will have to work on that for a little while, giving your rocket launchers a little extra time to take them out. It all comes together. I love a plan when it comes together. I don't even know what stage this is. Right, stage 6. Jeez, I can't count so good. Stage 6 actually reminds me a lot of last week's stage 7, where it's a whole bunch of Zookas right up front, and then a bunch of Riflemen, and then a bunch of Warriors. The good news is, much like stage 7 last week, we crushed stage 6. Just, like, I almost felt sorry for it. And it was kind of nasty, because I started getting worried around here where, you know, you got these Warriors that are running around, and a lot of the machine guns and flamethrowers and stuff had been worn out, and I just saw this huge wave of Warriors, and I was thinking, oh, crud. But it actually worked out really, really well, and those Warriors went down nice and fast. Which brings us to the big stage, the one you've been waiting for, stage number 7, which is super freaking easy this week. A bunch of Warriors and then just a bunch of Riflemen. So I went with my pure standard straight up setup. I threw a bunch of obviously residences in there and lumber storages and stuff like that, just to keep the Warriors busy while my machine guns and my flamethrowers ruin them. And then, you know, the Riflemen eventually start coming in, but it's the same sort of deal. I got my AoE damage all over the place. I've got my dummy buildings up in the front, and everything dies. Now, there were a few points where I was a little bit worried about the Barrage over on the left-hand side. I feel like the left-hand side of my base really got pummeled by artillery and Barrage. But again, with, you know, if you don't pass it on the first time and you run into the same scenario where, like, you know, a half of your base gets gutted by barrages, just shuffle out those buildings. You can watch the replays, figure out what's going down, and then scoot those over to the side, away from other buildings where they're not going to hurt anybody, and then you're going to get the nice, easy win. Anyways, guys, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And above all else, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day. Hello there, and welcome to the War Factory. Not at all. Not the War Factory.